Welcome to Afro Think Tank University. Today's lesson is about to begin, so get ready to learn something new. Let's dive in. Amari and Zuri entered the investment garden, a futuristic greenhouse unlike anything they had ever seen. Instead of ordinary fruit, glowing trees produced golden coins, sparkling gems, and seeds that slowly grew into magnificent money trees. In the center of the garden, Amari gently planted a single glowing seed into the soil. A holographic timeline appeared above it, showing the tiny seed gradually growing into a towering tree over many years. Amari explained that investing means putting money to work with the goal of growing it over time. Unlike saving, investing involves the possibility of gains and losses, and growth is never guaranteed. The most important ingredient was patience. Dialogue. Zuri, that tiny seed turns into a giant tree. Amari, that's the idea behind investing. Small amounts can grow over time, but it takes patience. Zuri, so investing is different from saving money? Amari, yes. Saving is usually for money you may need sooner. Investing is often for long-term goals and comes with both opportunities and risks. Zuri, so the tree doesn't grow overnight. Amari, exactly. Just like a real tree, investments usually need time to develop. Zuri, can investments always grow? Amari, no. Investments can go up or down in value. That's why it's important to learn, plan carefully, and think long-term. Zuri, so patience is one of the most important parts of investing. Amari, absolutely. Many successful investors focus on making thoughtful decisions and giving their investments time to grow. Zuri, I can't wait to learn how this investment garden works. Amari, then let's begin growing your financial future, one seed at a time. In the center of the investment garden, Amari placed a single glowing coin into the soil. Instantly, a holographic timeline appeared above it. The coin transformed into a tiny sprout, then a young tree, and finally a giant tree filled with golden fruit. Amari explained that investing is like planting a seed. A small investment made today has the potential to grow over time, but growth is never guaranteed. Just like a real garden, successful investing usually requires patience, care, and a long-term perspective. Dialogue. Zuri, that tiny coin grew into a huge tree. Amari, it shows how a small investment has the potential to grow over many years. Zuri, why didn't it become a giant tree right away? Amari, because investing usually takes time. Growth often happens gradually, not overnight. Zuri, so people have to be patient? Amari, exactly. Many investors focus on long-term goals instead of expecting quick results. Zuri, does every investment grow like this? Amari, not always. Investments can increase or decrease in value, which is why learning and planning are so important. Zuri, so the goal isn't to get rich overnight? Amari, right. The goal is to make thoughtful decisions and give your investments time to work. Zuri, investing really is like growing a garden. Amari, that's a perfect comparison. Plant wisely, care for it consistently, and give it time to grow. Amari and Zuri entered the stock exchange pavilion, where a giant holographic company floated in the center of the room. With a wave of Amari's hand, the building divided into thousands of tiny glowing pieces. One piece floated towards Zuri, who caught it with a smile. Amari explained that a stock represents a small ownership share in a company. When people invest in stocks, they are buying a small piece of that business. If the company performs well, the value of that investment may increase over time. However, if the company struggles, the value may also decrease. Investing in stocks involves both opportunities and risks. Dialogue. Zuri, so buying a stock means I actually own a tiny part of a company? Amari, exactly. Even if it's a very small part, you're becoming one of its owners. Zuri, what happens if the company grows and becomes more successful? Amari, the value of your investment may increase, although there's no guarantee. Zuri, and if the company has a difficult year? Amari, then the value of your investment could go down. That's one reason investing always involves risk. Zuri, so people invest because they believe a company can grow over time. Amari, that's right. Investors often research companies carefully before deciding where to invest. Zuri, I noticed there are companies from different industries. Amari, exactly. Technology, healthcare, food, transportation, energy, and many other industries all have companies that people can invest in. Zuri, so investing isn't just guessing. Amari, not at all. Good investing is built on learning, research, patience, and long-term thinking. Zuri, I like that. I'm not just buying a number. I'm buying a small ownership stake in a real business. Amari, exactly. That's one of the most important ideas to understand about stocks. Zuri, this forest is full of different kinds of companies. Amari, that's right. The stock market includes businesses from many different industries. Zuri, so not every company does the same thing. Amari, exactly. Some build technology, some provide healthcare, some produce food, and others make energy or transportation possible. Zuri, how do investors choose which companies to invest in? Amari, many people research the company, learn about what it does, and decide whether they believe it has the potential to grow over time. Zuri, so investing isn't about guessing. Amari, no. Good investing is based on learning, research, and thinking long term. Zuri, I also noticed that some trees are bigger than others. Amari, just like companies, some businesses are larger, some are smaller, and they can grow or change over time. Zuri, so every company has its own story. Amari, exactly. Understanding those stories helps investors make more informed decisions. Amari and Zuri entered Diversification Valley, where several glowing bridges connected different islands. Each island represented a different type of investment, including technology, healthcare, energy, consumer goods, and real estate. Amari picked up several baskets instead of just one and placed a few glowing investment seeds into each. He explained that this is called diversification, spreading investments across different areas rather than relying on a single company or industry. While diversification cannot eliminate risk, it can help reduce the impact if one investment performs poorly. Dialogue. Zuri, why are you putting the seeds into different baskets instead of just one? Amari, because that's the idea behind diversification. Instead of depending on one investment, you spread your money across several. Zuri, so if one company has a bad year, everything doesn't depend on it? Amari, exactly. Another investment may perform differently, helping balance the overall portfolio. Zuri, does diversification guarantee I won't lose money? Amari, no. Every investment involves risk. Diversification doesn't remove risk, it helps manage it. Zuri, that's why there are different industries all over this valley. Amari, right. Different industries often respond differently to changes in the economy. Zuri, so smart investors don't usually put all their eggs in one basket. Amari, that's one of the oldest investing lessons, and it's still one of the smartest. Zuri, the goal is to build a stronger, more balanced portfolio. Amari, exactly. Diversification helps prepare you for the unexpected while keeping your long-term goals in mind. Amari and Zuri entered the Compound Growth Laboratory, where they watched a tiny glowing investment seed grow into a towering tree. Every year, the tree produced golden fruit, and instead of removing all the fruit, some of it became new seeds that grew into even more branches. The tree became larger and larger with time. Amari explained that this illustrates compound growth, when money has the potential to earn returns, and those returns may also earn returns over time. While investment performance is never guaranteed, compound growth demonstrates why many long-term investors value patience and consistency. Dialogue. Zuri, the tree is growing faster every year. Amari, that's the idea behind compound growth. As time passes, growth can build on previous growth. Zuri, so it's not just my original investment working anymore? Amari, exactly. If investments earn returns, those returns may also have the opportunity to grow over time. Zuri, that's why everyone keeps talking about starting early. Amari, right. The more time you have, the more opportunity compound growth has to work. Zuri, does this happen automatically? Amari, it depends on how your investments perform. Growth isn't guaranteed, but time can be a powerful advantage for long-term investors. Zuri, so patience is just as important as the money itself. Amari, absolutely. Many investors focus on staying invested over the long run instead of trying to chase quick results. Zuri, every year gives the tree another chance to grow. Amari, exactly. Time is one of the most valuable tools an investor can have. Amari and Zuri climbed to the long-term thinking observatory, where they looked through a giant futuristic telescope. Instead of showing stars, it revealed different points in the future. One view showed someone checking their investments every single day and becoming worried whenever prices changed. Another view showed someone staying focused on a long-term plan, continuing to invest consistently through both good times and difficult times. Amari explained that markets naturally rise and fall over time, and many long-term investors focus on their goals rather than reacting to every short-term change. Dialogue. Zuri, the first person keeps looking at their investments every day. Amari, they're paying attention to every small change and it's making them anxious. Zuri, but the second person looks much calmer. Amari, because they're focused on their long-term plan instead of every short-term movement. Zuri, so investments don't move upward every single day? Amari, no. Markets can go up and down, sometimes by a lot. That's a normal part of investing. Zuri, then why don't long-term investors panic? Amari, because they understand that short-term changes don't always determine long-term results. They stick to their plan unless their goals or circumstances change. Zuri, so patience isn't just waiting, it's staying committed to a thoughtful plan. Amari, exactly. Long-term investing often rewards discipline more than emotion. Zuri, I think I'm beginning to understand. Don't chase every headline, stay focused on the future. Amari, that's one of the greatest investing lessons of all. Amari and Zuri entered the portfolio design studio, where a giant holographic dashboard displayed different types of investments. Instead of choosing just one, Amari selected several and placed them into a single glowing portfolio. The dashboard adjusted to show different combinations based on goals, time horizon, and comfort with risk. Amari explained that an investment portfolio is simply a collection of investments owned by one person. There is no single perfect portfolio for everyone. Each person's portfolio should reflect their own financial goals, time frame, and willingness to accept risk. Dialogue. Zuri, so a portfolio is like a collection of my investments? Amari, exactly. Instead of owning just one investment, many people build a portfolio with several different investments working together. Zuri, why wouldn't everyone build the exact same portfolio? Amari, because everyone has different goals. Someone saving for retirement may choose differently than someone saving for college or a future home. Zuri, so my age and goals matter too? Amari, very much. Your timeline and your comfort with risk help shape the kinds of investments that may fit your plan. Zuri, that's why your dashboard keeps changing. Amari, right. A portfolio should be designed for the individual, not copied from someone else. Zuri, and it can change over time? Amari, absolutely. As your goals and circumstances change, your portfolio may change too. Zuri, so investing is really about creating a plan that fits me. Amari, exactly. A thoughtful plan is often more important than trying to find the perfect investment. Amari and Zuri entered the market control center, where a giant holographic chart rose and fell like ocean waves. Sometimes the graph climbed higher, and sometimes it dipped lower before continuing forward. Zuri looked surprised by the sudden changes, but Amari remained calm. He explained that markets naturally move up and down over time. Many experienced investors understand that short-term changes are a normal part of investing and focus instead on their long-term goals rather than reacting to every fluctuation. Dialogue. Zuri, the graph keeps going up and then down again. Amari, that's perfectly normal. Markets don't move in a straight line. Zuri, I think I'd be nervous every time I saw the line fall. Amari, many people feel that way at first. That's why having a long-term plan is so important. Zuri, so a market drop doesn't automatically mean everything is going wrong? Amari, not necessarily. Markets have experienced ups and downs throughout history. Many long-term investors stay focused on their overall plan instead of reacting to every change. Zuri, so emotions can lead people to make rushed decisions. Amari, exactly. Successful investing often requires patience, discipline, and thoughtful decision-making. Zuri, the goal is to stay focused on where I'm going, not every bump along the way. Amari, that's a great way to put it. Long-term investing is often more like a marathon than a sprint. Zuri, stay calm, stay patient, stay focused. Amari, and always remember why you started investing in the first place. Amari and Zuri arrived at the Wealth Orchard, where hundreds of mature investment trees stretched across the landscape. Some trees had been growing for decades, producing an abundance of golden fruit each season. Others were still young but steadily becoming stronger. Amari explained that every great orchard begins with a single seed. In the same way, wealth is often built through consistent saving, thoughtful investing, patience, and disciplined decision-making over many years. The orchard was a reminder that lasting financial success is usually the result of many small actions repeated consistently over time. Dialogue. Zuri, these trees are incredible. They all started as tiny seeds? Amari, every single one. Just like investments, they needed time, care, and patience to grow. Zuri, some trees are much bigger than others. Amari, that's because they've been growing longer. Time is one of the greatest advantages an investor can have. Zuri, so wealth usually isn't built overnight. Amari, exactly. Most long-term wealth is built step by step through consistent habits. Zuri, saving, investing, learning, and staying patient all work together. Amari, they do. Each good financial habit helps strengthen the next one. Zuri, I finally understand why you kept comparing investing to planting a garden. Amari, nature teaches us an important lesson. Plant wisely, care for what you plant, and give it time to grow. Zuri, the wealth orchard isn't magic. Amari, no. It's the result of knowledge, discipline, patience, and years of smart decisions. As the sun set over Afro Think Tank University, Amari and Zuri returned to the graduation terrace, overlooking the glowing future financial city. Holographic images replayed the entire lesson, from planting the first investment seed to understanding stocks, diversification, compound growth, long-term investing, and building a balanced portfolio. A glowing investment tree stood proudly behind them, symbolizing years of patience and smart decisions. Amari reminded everyone that investing is not about getting rich quickly. It is about learning, planning, staying disciplined, and giving your money the opportunity to grow over time. The greatest investment anyone can make is in their own knowledge. Dialogue. Zuri, we started this lesson with one tiny seed. Amari, and now you understand how that seed can grow into something much greater over time. Zuri, I learned that investing means putting my money to work instead of letting it sit still. Amari, exactly. Investing is about giving your money the opportunity to grow while understanding that all investments involve some risk. Zuri, I also learned why diversification, patience, and long-term thinking are so important. Amari, those habits help investors make thoughtful decisions and stay focused on their goals. Zuri, my favorite lesson was compound growth. Time really is powerful. Amari, it certainly is. Starting early and staying consistent can make a big difference over many years. Zuri, so the goal isn't to predict the future. Amari, right. The goal is to keep learning, follow a thoughtful plan, and make informed decisions as you work toward your financial goals. Zuri, I can't wait for our next adventure. Amari, neither can I. Our journey toward financial knowledge has only just begun. Both knowledge, wealth, legacy, learn something, teach something. Thanks for learning with Afro Think Tank University. Keep thinking, keep asking questions, and we'll see you in the next lesson.